February the 19th. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Thanks for tuning in. Good night if you're in England. A lot of people lately watching from England. I don't know why that is, but thank you. It's still legal today, but things are moving rapidly at all times. Things are getting more and more unhinged by the day, it seems. Every time you think that you can't hear something worse, you hear something worse. Today, Trump says we, which means me and you, we are going to give his Board of Peace $10 billion. Which, the Board of Peace, if you don't know, is Trump's own entity that he created himself with no congressional oversight or approval. And now he says he's going to take $10 billion of our money. Your money, my money. If you live in the United States, no, the English people, they're not getting fucked by this particular policy, but you and me are about to get fucked because he's about to steal $10 billion out of the U.S. Treasury and put it into the account of his Board of Peace. Which I don't know if you saw. He gave a speech at the Board of Peace where he promptly threatened war with Iran. You can't make this up. With a sign behind him that says, Board of Peace, he's threatening to bomb the shit out of Iran. You can't. It really is, like I said the other day, it really is like Dr. Strangelove. It's come to life. Like, it's real. Like, it's like you threaten a war with a peace sign. While simultaneously announcing that you're going to steal $10 billion from your own country and put it into an account that is controlled by guess who? You have to understand that the Board of Peace is just a made-up entity. It's nothing. It's just some shit he made up. And he said, hey, if anyone can give me $1 billion, you can join. Everyone else had to pay $1 billion to join. But we're going to pay $10 billion. This is the art of the deal. None of it makes any sense. None. What's up, Stacy? Thanks for tuning in. How are you? It doesn't make any sense. And again, it's illegal. Congress, the Constitution of the United States is very clear on this. That the Congress controls the purse strings of the U.S. Treasury. Not the President of the United States. He cannot unilaterally take $10 billion and give it to his own organization that he made up. He's going to try. And these nutlickers in the Congress right now are not going to try to stop him. The Congress might as well not even exist. You realize this, right? That all of the mega Congress people who are put in the Congress were only put there to stop the Congress. That's why they're there. Now another one is retiring, so I think they're down to a 1-vote majority. Razor thin. They cannot afford to lose any votes on anything, which is why Thomas Massey has become such a thorn in their side. Just because he counts as a Republican. But he doesn't just follow the mega agenda, so a lot of times he's a vote that's fucking them over somehow. Then they can't get to the majority of votes that they need to pass anything or get anything done at this point. Um, Not to mention the Epstein thing, which we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I just thought that the $10 billion, because like I said, that's our money. That's your money. You can't afford health care, but we have $10 billion to give to the Board of Peace. For what? I don't know. What are they gonna do with it? I don't know. What does the Board of Peace even do? It's a made up, or it's nothing. It's an arm of the Trump organization, is what it is. That's all it is. It's a way for them to shake down foreign leaders for money. I thought it was funny. I was thinking about it today. Man, you know how Donald Trump was such a terrible businessman, right? And even though his dad gave him $450 billion, he went through six bankruptcies. And he got to be such a credit risk that banks cut him off, right? Deutsche Bank cut him off, but no one would lend him money because he was he was that much of a risk, right? So, since he became president, he's made more money than he's ever made. I think this family's made at least $2 billion, maybe more, since he's been the president of the United States. So finally, he's not they say he used to be a fake rich guy. Now he's a genuine rich guy, right? And now you're like, what happens if you give him so much money he can't go bankrupt? He's going to tank the whole economy. That's like... drop the bottom right out of the dollar. It's like... well, he can't go bankrupt. What can he do? Oh, well, he can make all of his money worthless. That's like... that's exactly what he's going to do. Where's all this money coming from? You realize he's already ran up a $2.5 trillion deficit since he's been president. 1 year. So for all those people, that guys that said, oh, well, he fixed the economy. Oh, did he? Just because they come on TV and tell you that everything is great, it's like I've been saying before, reality doesn't give a fuck about his lies. Oh, here's another thing I saw. Applications, listen to this. Applications filed by the Trump Organization with the Federal Trademark Office are seeking exclusive rights to use the president's name on airports and dozens of related things found there, from buses shuttling passengers to umbrellas and travel bags to flight suits. Just everything says Trump. You get on the Trump bus and your Trump bag and your Trump. You're going to bring back Trump water and Trump steaks and all the things that failed. All of us failed businesses from the past. Let me try to find this. Because there's interesting information today about the trade deficit. All right, here we go. Remember when he said that tariffs, the reason for the tariffs were because of the trade deficit, right? The tariffs were going to take care of this trade deficit and even it out. You know, that's what, that's what he says. Yes, Laura, the Trump dildo, so you can go fuck yourself. That's actually an appropriate mega product. So it should say on the box. Like, dildos for megas. Go fuck yourself. Like, literally. Here we go. Check it out. Now, Trump, according to Trump, right, the tariffs were going to even out the trade deficit. Right? That was the purpose of the tariffs. And other countries were going to pay it, not you. And it was going to even out the trade deficit because we've been treated very unfairly. Very unfairly, you know, he says all the time. So here we go. The U.S. trade deficit widens, capping one of the biggest since 1960. The U.S. trade deficit widened to $70.3 billion in December, pushing the full year gap to $901.5 billion, almost $1 trillion trade deficit. Among the largest since 1960, Commerce Department data showed. Imports rose 3.6% in December, while exports fell 1.7%. Economists had expected a $55.5 billion deficit. The goods shortfall adjusted for inflation expanded to $97.1 billion, the widest since July. Trade flows were volatile throughout 2025 as importers responded to shifting tariff announcements from Trump. Gold and pharmaceutical imports were especially uneven, while December's import gains were driven by computer accessories and motor vehicles. Export declines largely reflected reduced gold shipments. The data feeds into the fourth quarter GDP estimates, with the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta projecting net exports will add 0.6 percentage point to growth, currently forecast at 3.6. So, again, proving that his entire theory is complete bullshit, right? But that's not what he said, is it? He went out there, he went on TV. Oh, this deficit is great. It's the best we've ever seen, ever, probably ever. You know, that's like. We have become North Korea. Only somehow dumber. This guy just said, hey, listen, I want to tell you something that happened last night. You know, sometimes you get some hope, like, okay, maybe we're going to get out of this. Maybe people will come to their senses. Well, me and Laura went to the basketball game last night. And before we went to the basketball game, we went to eat. And while we were eating, there was a booth of people behind us who were obviously Trump supporters. And they were talking about how great Trump is and how smart Caroline Levitt is and how wonderful everything is. And it's like I told you a million times, and I'll keep saying it. These people live in their own created fantasy world where facts and truth do not matter. It only matters how they feel, and they feel like everything is great. Now this is the 35%. I think he's down to like his core support now. Like his approval rating is down to, like, I think the last time I saw it was 37%. That's the cult. There's 1/3 of this country that will never, ever admit that Donald Trump is a worthless piece of shit, possibly pedophile, grifting. Thank you, Pro Gamer says I'm a nerd. a guy who plays video games for a living. Calling other people nerds. Laura says, I was bending so far back to eavesdrop, she thought I was going to sprain my neck. I was just very interested, and I was really high from that gummy today. But just to listen to people delude themselves. So, how you could, they were like, oh, that Caroline Levitt, she's so good, she's so smart, she answers those questions so fast. Like, yeah, because she's just bullshitting the whole time. It's like, it's easy to answer questions when you can just make up the fucking answers. It's like, how do you know that? All you guys always have lots of fucking, like, assumptions about shit. You're like, I make more money than this guy. You don't know how much I mean. You're probably right. I'll give you that. But you don't know that. I could be rich. You don't know. Everybody seems to think I'm some kind of a Jew. Yes, I don't have a Jew stash of money somewhere. Like, you don't know this. You don't know anything about me. You just come on here. People do that all the time, which is fine. I mean, I'm glad that you're watching the show. I'm not trying to discourage you or tell you to turn it off, or I'm not even trying to insult you. I'm just pointing out it's a common thing that you guys come on here and just assume shit. Start saying, that that you make more money than you don't know. You don't even know what I do. I used to make pretty good money. Yes, there's all kinds of different kinds of nerds, Questella. All kinds. Yes, Lars says, I'm rich in love. I am rich in love. Thank you, David Easter. That's the point of the show, at least, and to try to be entertaining. And talk about stuff. Like I said, let's talk about what's going on in England. I don't know if any of you are from England. I haven't seen any of my English viewers on yet today, but I have some regular English who watch the show. And today, Prince Andrew was arrested. I woke up. I'm like, man, on some level, like, the guy's a piece of shit, right? He deserves everything that's happened to him. But on some level, you gotta feel sorry for him, because it seems like he's the only motherfucker who's gonna take a real fall for this. Everyone else is gonna get away scot-free. Tweed says he's from Albania, Westerner scum. That's another thing. You know I'm a scum. I could be on your side, bro. Do you hate Russia? Because if you do, me and you got something in common. It's like, do I hate the Russian people? No. But Vladimir Putin? What a dick. It's just like, do you hate Jews? No. But Benjamin Netanyahu? What a fucking dick. It's like... I hate people individually. See? You do. So don't call me a scum. I'm on your side, bro. You're going to watch the show, at least tune in for a little bit and listen to the things I say before you decide. Like, I'm here fighting against the Westerner scum who are running this fucking country and in turn trying to destroy this world right now. I'm trying to fucking, I said, keeps talking about bombing Iran. What the fuck is bombing Iran gonna do? If they don't make a deal with a bomb them, all that'll make them make a deal, Old Spice toilet paper. Who the fuck uses Old Spice anymore? I know they try to jam it all up. All I remember at Old Spice is like your grandpa's Old Spice, the white cone bottle with the thing. It just said aftershave on it. I just didn't even have a name for the scent. It's just, you just splash it up. To me, that's Old Spice. Now they try to say my Old Spice is modern now. And that's no, it isn't. Anyway, here's a statement from the King himself. A statement from His Majesty the King. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on the matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Charles R. Now, it's important to understand what's really happening here, because people are already on the internet like, oh, look, someone's going down for the Epstein. Like, he's not being charged for being a pervert scumbag and sex trafficking women or having sex with little girls. He's being charged with misconduct in public office for passing trade secrets to Jeffrey Epstein when he was on the Board of Trade, when he was still a prince. So here's what happened. Here's how it worked, right? He's sitting in on the trade deals and meetings that they're doing secretly to conduct their economic business. And meanwhile, he's got a back channel to Jeffrey Epstein, and so he's sending Jeffrey Epstein tips on what the British government is going to do so that Jeffrey Epstein knows where to invest money and shit. So basically, he's being arrested for fucking with rich people's money. Danielle Ken says, if you want to prove yourself as a man, play Brigade 103. That's I prove myself as a man. There's lots of ways to prove that you're a man, and playing a video game has never been high on the list of things that I would consider. Although I'm not against playing it, I like games. I play games, but I'm not great at them. A lot of gamers here today. This is a different guy. The other guy was a gamer too, professional gamer. I was wondering how you get that gig. You should have asked that guy before he went away. I was like, how do you get that gig, professional gamer? Like, sees you online playing Call of Duty. Oh, look, this guy's killed 30,000 people. Sign him up. Like football recruiters. What does that mean? Danielle Can. It's not a game. Where are you from? That's a you from Ukraine or? Yes, Laura, I'm good at the game of life. Yes, I've played it more than most people. That is true. But anyway, so Prince Andrew is not getting. Oh, really? Well, fuck you. Sorry, I'm not down for the cause, bro. I'm not saying it, I'm sure that if you sit down with anybody, I'm sure you have your reasons. From Serbia. Let me ask you a question. You're from Serbia. You still hate the Croatians that much, man? I don't think that people realize that with all the racist shit and all this dumb shit, like I said, that we're all in this same boat. And the machines and the billionaires are coming for all of us. All of us. All of us. Who is ISIS? It's the Islamic State. I know what ISIS is, bro. And like I said, I'm sure if you sit down with those people or yourself, I mean, you had a discussion, I'm sure you have your reasons. And I'm sure a lot of them are valid. I just don't like the approach, I don't like killing people, first of all. Second of all, I don't like killing people like just random people, If you're going to kill some people, kill the people that are directly hurting you. I understand you can't get to them, so you lash out however you can. I get that part of it. But see, what is that? What are these things that you're saying? Bridge 103, what is that? To tell you the truth, I'm very fascinated. I mean, I would actually like to learn more. And like I said, we are all in the same boat. And I said, the billionaires are coming for all of us. And your race, your country, wherever you're at, it ain't going to save you from, if they have their way, there'll be 50 of them controlling the entire planet. And somehow they... I don't know if you watch that show, Alien Earth. I finally watched it. But the concept was that in the future, there was no government. Yes, it's the dude rug, Jarpus. The literal dude rug. That's like the concept is in the future There was no governments because 5 corporations had decided that the governments were ineffective and didn't do things, and so they took over and they divided the world between 5 corporations. They had a board called the Five, and that's how they made decisions. And that's how it'll be if they have their way. All this shit that they use to divide people about globalism and all this bullshit is it's all a subterfuge because what they want to create is a globe that they control. To do that, they need everyone divided and fighting amongst each other while they do their shit over here. Nobody, like Trump. Trump floods the zone and does so much shit that you can't keep track of every single thing he's doing. He's shuffling stuff around so fast. Like, oh, he's over here breaking the law. Now he's over here breaking the law. Now he's stealing some money over here. Now he's covering up the Epstein files over here. And he's doing this and he's doing that. And in the meantime, no one's talking. So much shit is going on. This is true. This is literally true. So much shit is going on, right, that he nominated an actual Nazi, white supremacist, white nationalist Nazi, a guy with a history. And he was up in front of Congress for a confirmation hearing. Not even a story. I think the only place I saw anybody talking about it was on Abby Phillips' show late at night. Didn't see one main story about it in the daytime on any fucking channel. They're like, here's the President of the United States, who just days before had posted a video of the Obamas as apes. Now he's nominating an actual white supremacist Nazi for a cabinet position. And no one even cares. This is how far down the rabbit hole we've gone. Today they rolled out a big banner of Trump's face at the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice. A big giant banner with Trump's face said, "Keep America safe." By pissing off the whole world and starting a war. Let me ask you this. How much money do you think it costs to move 2 aircraft carriers and an armada across the world off the coast of Iran? Now, we already went through how much it costs to do Venezuela, and Venezuela's right there. This is halfway across the world. How much money do you think that costs? He's already ran up $2.5 trillion deficit. How much money? Hugo says to him that everything is a game, like life, good or bad, and good against bad. Yes, that's true. It is true. It's a balancing act, I said this 1,000 times, and it's true. The truth is, you really don't have any control. You don't have much control over what happens. Life and the universe itself is a random series of chaotic events. As long as you're alive, life is just throwing shit at you all the time. 90%, like you can control some things. We're going to talk about, or I'll answer your question in a second, Toxic. Let me finish my thought here. It's true. Is you can control some things. And let's be generous. Let's say you can build 10% of life you could control, right? You can control what time you get up, if you get to work on time or not. Even sometimes you can't control that. Well, you can control like how you treat people. You can control, that's about it. The rest of the time, life is just throwing shit at you. And how you deal with those things defines who you are as a person. That's always been my theory. People say, who are you? It's like, well, it's how you react to things. That's how you can control who you are. And in my lifetime, I've gone through a vast array of different approaches. How, when you're young, you don't know. The shit's just coming, and you're like, But Toxic Martial Law asks, what's the worth of deep loyalty if it's mostly only temporary, and that's true. That's true. That's why I don't uh, like corporations. These people in the governments, the nutlickers that surround Trump. Trump's only loyal to them as long as they're doing something for him or he feels like he can get something out of it. The minute he thinks he can't or he thinks that they've outran their usefulness, he stabs him in the back and kicks him over the edge. So what's the fucking point? And you're at your work, at your job, they say, oh, you're just a number to them. And they say, oh, this is a family. No, it isn't. If they needed to cut the bottom line, they'll cut your job and send you home. They don't care about you at all. Most loyalty is a myth. Loyalty is earned, should be earned. I just told somebody yesterday, it was like, because Kevin Durant is a prime example, right? Kevin Durant, something happened to Kevin Durant. He was in a group text, right, with some other players or somebody else. I don't know, it was a group of people, right? A private group text where they were talking about all kinds of stuff. And he was talking about people that played on the team with him and shit. He was bad-mouthing them, you know what I mean? And somebody in his circle leaked those texts. And now, he's got a problem. He's got to go in the locker room and his teammates like, what do you mean I fucking suck? But he trusted those people. Can't trust people, bro. Trust is earned. Thank you. I once again not Jewish, but I appreciate the thought that Aslan says that I'm hot. Thank you so much. Toxic Martial Law says, but even marriage monogamy is not the same anymore. Am I mistaken? Oh, I don't think so. I mean, there's definitely more open marriages than I've ever seen before, and more. There's now a category that people have called ethical non-monogamy. I mean, I guess it's just like anything else. Back in the day, you just call those swingers. We always have to change the names of shit. They said that at my job. Like, new restructuring, which is basically like they just take your title and they change it. Same job. Like the receiver was previously called the receiving manager, is now the inventory control manager. It's the same fucking job. It's like George Carlin has that bit about how shell shock, used to be called shell shock, and then he went through all this. Then it's called battle fatigue, and then now it's called post traumatic stress disorder. It's like we always have to update the language every so few years. It's a way, it's a method of control. Right? I'll give you an example, like what they just did at where I work. Right? They call it restructuring. And yeah, like I said, it's I think the principles are still the same, bro. Toxic martial law. I think if you get married to somebody, you gave them your word that you were going to be loyal to them and be monogamous. And if you're not, you're cheating and you're breaking your vows. If you don't want to do that, don't get married. But really, I mean, anytime you give your word to somebody, you say, even if you're not married, you say to somebody, "You're my girlfriend, and I love you, and I'm only going to be with you." Yes, I wish that too for you. He says, "May this loyalty find me." Yes, I think that we all want that. Well, not everybody, Some people are Epstein Island scumbags, and they don't care. Mashed Potato says, "My wife is a 10." Yeah, I got pretty lucky this time. Like I was alone, and I went through lots of people or lots of dates. Tell me, Jack Evans, what's bullshit? No, I'm going to hear, what part of it is bullshit? Is what okay? That your wife's a 10? Mashed potato? Sure. Congratulations. But anyway, that's what I was saying. I got lucky. Germany, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I got lucky because I said I had started to get discouraged. I was never going to find anybody. And I wound up finding like one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Just by waiting. Wait around long enough. Something will happen. And I keep telling everybody that. It's like, don't get discouraged. You know, good things don't just happen. You know, sometimes you gotta wait. And then, like I said, and a lot of people are scumbags. You know, so you gotta weed through a lot of fucking. It's like panning for gold. You know, it's a lot of dirt and mud. You gotta screen through it. You know, find some rocks and pieces of glass. Really? That seems young. Is that okay? Of course not. I thought you were saying A10. Of course you're. If that's true, which I don't think it is, but one, it's not funny. It's supposed to be a joke. And two, you're really quite a disgusting human being if that's the case. That's like. Thank you, Laura. I would say the same about you. I tell you, I've had loads and loads and loads of fun. It's like, you're fun to be around. Yeah, right? I don't know why all of a sudden that kind of thing is like, that's what I'm talking about, the reality televisionification of this world has desensitized, and the internet and the social media has desensitized us all to horrible things. Like the fact that Donald Trump is in these files 1 million times and they won't show you half of them. And the ones they do have, they blacked out all the mentions of him because there's just so many. It's like, and we're not burning this country to the ground. Says a lot about us. How spineless we really are. What do I think about Trump then? You know, apparently you don't watch this show a lot. That's like, because I fucking hate Trump. Everything he stands for. This was interesting today. The president of Palantir, you know Palantir, the AI fucking spy company that's really owned by Peter Thiel, but the president showed up at an investor meeting with a t-shirt, unbrushed hair. He was gesturing like he was on meth. Couldn't see it stay seated, and he said, "We kill people sometimes." We just let it go. What do I think about Zoran Mamdani? I'm very hopeful. He hasn't been in office long enough to make a judgment on if he's effective or not. But what we need in this country is a change towards a more humane approach to how we run this society, and he represents that side of the spectrum of thinking. So I'm glad that he's getting a chance to try to see if he can implement his ideas and do something to actually help people. How's that? I don't care that he's a Muslim. I don't care that he's not a white guy. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is having a society that's not a soulless fucking meat grinder, which is what it is right now. He can't be president, Raging Skull. I don't believe he can. He wasn't born in the United States. So that makes him ineligible. I think the highest he can get is he can become a senator. He can never be the president of the United States unless they change the Constitution. Hmm. They're not going to do that. So, remember when they said Kash Patel came on TV and said that, who's that, Biscuit? Who's got the vibes? This one says, the FBI interviewed one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims 4 times over her allegation that Donald Trump assaulted her when she was underage. But most accusations against the president appear to have been removed from the government's documents. Shocker. Something else. Oh, remember when Kash Patel said that there was no evidence in the files that anybody had done anything, anybody had sex trafficked anybody except Jeffrey Epstein, and to Jeffrey Epstein, and only Jeffrey Epstein was guilty of anything, and there was no evidence. Here's one. Last name Maxwell, age 55. Additional info. Other women shared their experiences. Women from Miss Teen USA said Trump had raped them also. How is contact known? She brought us in from a van in Mexico. She told us we were going to foster care in America. Oh my God, another one of you? I don't think you guys realize just how lame and unoriginal you really are. Leon Gaines, guess what he says? Jew, oh yeah. How original. That's what you all say when you come on here. It's like, oh, Jew, this guy's a Jew. Yes, Raging Skull. See, Raging Skull's at least thinking about shit. He says, I kind of feel bad for Kash Patel. He looked like a good person before all of this. But after these files and everything, it looks like he was forced to comply with Trump and the others. Yeah. And Dan Bongino was like, fuck this, I'm out. Tweed says Jews are cool. I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying, yeah, I don't think he was a good person. He was a nut licker. That's his problem. Kash Patel is just a drooling nut licker. He just will do anything that he thinks will advance his own position, which is what most of these people are. And they've attached themselves to Trump because that's a way for them. Yes, Tweet says Cash got honeypotted. Yes. And Dan Bongino, he's like, I'm out of here. Tweet says, Jews are cool, and they are. That's what I said before. I'm just not one of them. They just always assume that I'm one. Oh, Jesus, here's the guy with a real swastika. Seriously? That's your profile picture. Michael the Nazi. Hi, that's how you go into group chats. Hi, I'm Mike the Nazi. Nice to meet you. What do you think about her? That's what I said, Juliet. It's like a real Nazi. Complete with swastika profile pic. I bet that gets you laid a lot. The girl was like, hey, yes, Raging Skull, that is true. Raging Skull says, ain't no one got any problems with Jews, but fuck Zionists. Yes. Fuck anybody that thinks they're superior to other people. How about that? Any of them. Zionists are just Jew supremacists. They're like white supremacists. No, don't have the hat. We were talking about that on the last episode. The vast array of stupid rules that God has. You gotta wear the tiny hat. You gotta. It says dress code religions. Amish, he told him, gave him a big hat. But it's true. I said Zionists are to Jewish like what white supremacists are to white people. Right? They think that they're superior to everybody else and that they have the right to decide who they wipe off, the earth or take their shit. This is a country you have to understand where the mega mindset comes from, right? Mega mindset comes from, like, if you know the history of this country, right? It's like we went out west, killed and murdered as many people as we could, killed their food source, right? Killed women and children until they were like, hey, we got to do something about this and fight back. And so they gathered up an army, and what happened? They kicked the shit out of Custer. They fucking slaughtered all those dudes. And what did the white people do? Oh, look at the savages murdering us. And people bought into that. MAGA is the same people with the same mindset. And you listen to these people that they see it worldwide. This guy was, I swear to God, this guy, I don't know if you remember Madison Cawthorn. All these guys, that's what, MAGA is like a downward spiraling roller coaster that's going faster and faster and faster into more and more extreme, because they think that, yes, exactly, Fifth Element, pointless, wrong way, pure insanity taking over, exactly. And they said they have to be more extreme at all times, because that's how they get the attention and the clicks and the views and so it's going to continue to get more and more extreme. And this guy was talking about basically like we were talking about manifest destiny back in the day, about taking over the rest of the country. Now they're talking about that, about the world. It's like we should run the world because we're superior, and they really believe this. Red Dead Redemption says, hey, it's my birthday today and I turned 14. Happy birthday. Jack, by the way. Which Jack? Jack from my family, or just some random Jack? Hold on. Just kicked me off again because now it's back. All right. It's unbelievable. This fucking, I paid money for this service, and it, Fifth Element says, sometimes I think why so many people have brains, but they are useful, why they even need it. Yeah. Or does it even work? And you heard these people last night. I said they lived in a fantasy. To them, the Epstein files, I never heard them bring it up one time. When you can willfully just wish away the fact that thank you, Matar. You just wish away the fact that this guy's mentioned like a million times in these files, and that he was best friend with a pedophile sex trafficker, and yet you could convince yourself that he didn't know anything about this. And then, like I said before, they gave away, they lie so much that he can't keep the story straight. Like, for years he said he didn't know anything about it, and then this thing came out that said he called the police in 2007, said, thank you, God, for arresting Jeffrey Epstein and stopping him. We all knew what he was doing, and it was horrible. And now they're trying to say, look, Trump turned him in. Like, then why was he telling you that he didn't know nothing about it? If he turned him in, see, man, he'd be proud of that. Say, hey, I turned him in, and here's all the files because I didn't have nothing to do with it. But that ain't what he did it? Fifth Element says, put all things in one, not just what's going now, and then look at the whole picture. It's so odd where there is no words. Yes. Because this is way beyond Trump. This has been going on for years and years and years across 4 different administrations, Republican and Democrat. Right? No one did anything about it. There's all kinds of files of these girls going to the FBI and telling them all kinds of horrible shit. And nothing happened. They buried these cases. Why? Because it's Republicans and Democrats that were involved in this shit. Both. The whole system is shit. It's just amazing. If we were to prosecute all these pedophiles, the whole system would collapse, and that's a bad thing. If a system is propped up by a bunch of demonic fucking pedophiles, don't you think that's a bad system? It should probably be burnt down and start over. Yes, Fifth Element says, and it still keeps going while they keep giving distractions, covering shit with coverings. Yes, exactly. See, you're on to something here. I like you. Thanks for tuning in. Please come back. It's true. And at least European countries are opening up investigations and doing shit. We're not going to do a goddamn thing. Why? Because, like the guy that called me a Western scumbag, see, he didn't stick around for this part when I tell him that because this country is a piece of shit. Yes, but that was 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago, we're still in the same spot. Yes, and regressing. Although today they had to put that slavery exhibit back up. They did. The plaques were down, and the exhibit was down for like a week. You know, they tried to go in there and tear it down. And the judge quoted 1984 when it ordered them to put them back up. He's like, this is not the Ministry of Truth. You're not the fucking propaganda police. You don't control history. Put it back up. Judges are the only thing that's stopping this guy right now. That's why I said it. We have to win back the country. We have to vote the Republicans out of existence. Or at least into such a small existence that they realize that they got to kick these mega fucking Nazis out of their fucking party. Because right now they're building detention centers all over the place. What do you think that's for? Oh, here's something else I forgot to tell you. There's a horrible order that it's a memo. It says the policy of the U.S. government will now be to proactively seek out and arrest likely tens of thousands of refugees who entered legally under Biden and subject them to detention where they will be interrogated about their status. And then someone will decide if they're worthy of staying or not. What's that, Laura? What Julia said earlier. Oh, about the incinerator? Yeah, but I gotta look into that. That's the kind of thing that I don't do. I don't engage in wild speculation on this show. Let me give you an example of why. The Savannah Guthrie case, right? The sheriff had to come out. I wouldn't look into it, Julia. If I deem it to be true, we'll talk about it in the next episode. I don't like to talk about things I don't know are true. That sounds like some Alex Jones type shit. I'm not saying that I don't believe it could be true. I do, but I don't know enough about it to speculate or talk about it. And this is why, because the sheriff in Arizona had to come out and say that they have cleared and exonerated the Guthrie family because these scumbag influencers, true crime influencers on the internet, or it's just speculating wildly and throwing accusations around about people in their fucking family. They're going through a kidnapping tragedy. You don't need fucking Jackoff273 and his fucking podcast fucking accusing you of kidnapping your own mother. Hey, there's the cup. 100 cup. Thank you so much. We got the 100 message cup. Hey, this is pretty consistent. I think I've got the 100 message cup now the last 3 episodes. So thank you. Well, actually, no, the last 2 because we almost got there last Saturday, but Daniele was on half the time, and I don't answer comments when I'm interviewing Daniele. E-Rock says they need to be striked off, but money as new king in this world probably can't be dethroned, right? What's family, Laura? You're right about that, bro. Your money. I said these billionaires, they've taken over the world. And the AI, the Palantir, all that shit. Dude, they it's like I said before, they're going to create a world where 20 or 25 of them control the world. But that's what they want. Yes, Fifth Element, it should be a worldwide revolution against all these motherfuckers. You're like, well, how big of a wall can you build to keep us all out? Hundreds of millions of people coming for you. No, Laura. See, that's why I said the police already exonerated the family. Because people, like I said, are out here speculating on the internet about shit they don't know nothing about. And that's why I said I don't want to talk about what she said. I saw it, but I ignored it because I didn't want to bring it up because I'll look into it. And if I deem it to be true, then we'll talk about it on this show. But I don't like to talk about things that I don't know for a fact are true. Because that's the problem in this world today. We've gotten off the rails. The truth don't matter. People just say what they feel. They go, well, I feel like the uncle might have done it, you know. It's like, meanwhile, you're slandering an innocent person. What's up, Cold Cream? Thank you for tuning in. You're just catching the very end. We're about to be done. If you just tuned into this show today and you stumbled on, well, it's what you feel. But it's just like the economy. Trump doesn't care. The economy doesn't care how those people behind us feel and issues. It's still going to collapse while they go, everything's great. Ain't Trump the greatest? It's like, yes, Fifth Element. Fifth Element says, imagine spending all these monies for wars, weapons, and the rest of shit things where they could be used for improvement of daily life, taking out routines we can't. Yes, exactly. Or feeding hungry people. Or no one should be starving and sleeping in the street. That's true, Julian. Julia says they're claiming that they're buying them to burn medical waste. But how can that be true when they aren't given any medical care? Exactly. That is true. And you know, there's still 1,000 people missing from the alligator Alcatraz. Just missing. They just vanished off the face of the earth. Nobody knows what happened to them. And they've already killed 130-something people off the coast of Caribbean Ocean or whatever. Obviously, they don't mind killing people. That's what I'm saying is I'm not telling you this not true story. What I'm telling you is I don't know it to be true. I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to speculate. All my opinions that I give on this show are my own opinions and based on facts and research that I've done. And when you're not looking at me. I do. That is a theory, Julia, that people have said. But again, you know, so much misinformation and just straight up bullshit in the world. Just turn on Benny Johnson's show for one day. That's what kills me about these right-wing podcasters is they just go on every day and they lie and they lie and they lie and they lie and nothing that they say ever really happens. And yet people just be listening to this shit over and over. Alex Jones is a prime example. For years and years and years and years and years now, decades, Alex Jones has been saying all this crazy shit's gonna happen, and none of it's happened. After a while, when the guy says so many things and none of it occurs, you'd think that somebody would go, hey man, maybe this guy's full of shit. But they don't. Because it ain't about reality or truth or facts or anything to them. To them, it's about being told what they think, what they already think. And he's just stroking something that's already there. There's always crazy conspiracy people, and he's fanning that flame. Because that's how he gets money. Glenn Beck, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, they're all the same. Some of them actually paid by foreign countries to... See, that's what's wrong with this country, right? Like, let's take a guy like Benny Johnson, right? You take money from a foreign adversary to run propaganda inside your own country. Now, to me, that person should be in prison. Period. To me, that's treason. But we let it go. Fifth Element says it's all about thinking. You have to think and think about everything and ask questions why. Yes, and that's what this show is all about. But I won't do that on live air because, like I said, I don't know that much about it. What I'm going to do is go off on my own and read about this story that she's telling me. And if I find it credible that they're buying incinerators to put in these detention centers, then we will talk about it. And I'm not going to engage in wild conspiracy speculation on this show because that's against everything I'm against. This show is all about the truth, or trying to get at the truth. How's that? I will never tell you something that I haven't thoroughly checked into and that I didn't know was true. I come from the old school, I was a young journalist at one time when I was a kid in high school and shit. Yes, I am astonished by true things that go on. Yes, for sure. And I will say that a lot of preconceptions that I used to have about the world are different now. Because all that stuff's gone. Like, we're through the looking glass. Like, there is no more. There's no curtain for them to hide behind. Now they're all dancing out in the shadows. It's like when you turn the light on and the cockroaches, when it's dark, you didn't notice so many cockroaches till you turn the light on and you're like, holy shit, they're everywhere. And that's where we're at. And we're over an hour now, so if you just stumbled onto this show today, I thank you very much. And I thank you, Fifth Element, and some of the other people that were new today. And I hope that you enjoy the show. One guy said I was entertaining. I thank you for that. I said I started this show from nothing 1 year ago. And it's not huge yet, but it's significantly bigger. And if you like this show, please tell your friends. Yes, that's true. Fifth Element says you come to this realization and it's scary is all I can say. Yes, exactly. And that's why we're here, try to figure it out together. So if you just stumbled upon this show, like I said today, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I am live at that time, and as you can see, I interact with you. So if you want to send me a private message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. This show is live. If you're watching on Facebook, it's on Adam Chancellor, because as you know, Bruce Leonard's banned for life. I'm on YouTube at Bruce Leonard 2601. It's the name of the channel, and you can just Google the podcast. I'm sure you'll find it. And I'm on Twitch as well. So you can choose however you want to watch. Like I said, again, I'm here Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. Thank you to people in Germany, the guy in Albania, my English watchers. I have some British watchers now. I have Canadians watching, but they don't talk too much on it. Hopefully they'll start talking soon, because I'd like to hear their perspectives as well. And again, I said, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. Thank you, Fifth Element, for watching. Thank all of you guys, all my regular listeners. I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully, Danielle, you'll join me, but I can't promise because I never know. And thank you, Fifth Element, and hopefully you'll come back. I said I'm here Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Thank you very much. Good night.